The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, decided to end his career when he posted this meme.
A red wine.
Yep, he posted the meme of JD Just Dance Vance, just dance vancing, and he is going to just dance into the presidency in 2028. I don't think they realize the monster that they are creating here. They are literally memeing this man to the presidency, and the libtards are getting really scared. I am once again asking the liberals, please understand meme culture. They're literally going to meme Vance into office for him. The terror is real. They are very scared. You just look at the responses and you know what's happening. This is crazy. JD Vance is taking over the internet through government censorship, right? No, everything is Vance. It's all Vance. Hakeem Jeffries and Vance chasing him with his sombrero. Oh, no, stop. With Vance dunking behind him. That's my goat. They don't know what they're doing. Old photo officer. Old photo officer. Wow, the left can't meme because the left is the meme. I don't think people understand what they've created. I don't think they understand what they have created. So anyway, over the course of them losing, they tried their hardest to actually get Vance on gotcha questions in the media because they're scared because he's going to be the next president of the United States. And there's really nothing they can do about it at this point instead of just make it happen easier and faster. So being that they're absolutely terrified, they're pissing and shitting themselves, Trump makes an historical peace deal in the Middle East, which is something that no leftoid could have ever done, despite the fact that they're supposedly the Free Palestine Party. It's Trump that ended up freeing Palestine. These people are literally shooting themselves in the globules so that they don't get reincarnated into a world where Trump could take a W. Suddenly, the left is now pro-killing Palestinians. No one saw this one coming. So they tried their best to hit JD Just Dance Vance 48 with a gotcha question. They tried to catch him with like a surprise hit job. On ABC, he did a special interview. They asked him a question where they basically surprised him with a below-the-belt question about government corruption of a specific official that he probably shouldn't necessarily even have known about, but he actually fucking clapped back. So I'm going to show you this clip first, and then we're going to look at the interview as a whole, because the interview cuts this off, all right? The interview leaves this out of the YouTube upload, all right? So you have to see what they did and how they removed it in post after this was literally broadcasted live on air.
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here,
right, so I'm going to show you the Tom Homan bribe situation. Tom Homan is the border czar. There are allegations that he accepted a bribe. The media has been pushing that. That's been the new media thing. This is what JD Vance had to say. And he shocked them so much with the response. You have to hear how this ends.
here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program.
The clapback. Because they're too busy watching me, the blue retard. Definitely subscribe. I am the media now.
And why you're losing credibility, because you're talking
So
for now
upfront.
5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income
Do you
women...
understand how insane that is, by the way? They really tried to get him for a gotcha. He's speaking to the vice president of the United States, and he spends endless time on a little story that Vance doesn't really know much about just to try his best to destroy... The media is the enemy. Antifa is the militant group of the left. The media is the propaganda wing of the left. And wake up, sheeple. This is happening.
Women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government.
True.
Right now,
Government's still shut down, by the way, because of the leftoids.
we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You are focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. True. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit.
I'll be real here. I feel like that's basically everything that the right's been yelling about. Let's focus on the real issues. And they're like, you posted a meme with a guy in a sombrero, and that's actually racist. And it's like, bro, there are people dying in Chicago every week because you're releasing criminals into the wild. And they're like, well, actually, I think it's a lot more important to talk about, like some other nebulous thing that Trump got a vaccine.
Much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not.
All right, now listen to how Slopinopoulos responds.
Not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked.
For the record, this Slopinopoulos guy, he slandered Trump, based on my recollection. He slandered Trump on ABC News. He said that Trump is a rapist, which he is not. At least there's no conviction of rape. So he called Trump a convicted rapist, which is a lie. And ABC actually had to pay out to Trump hundreds of millions of dollars settling in court for defamation. So again, that's the mainstream media for you. So let's see what he says.
Hole, I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, I
JD
said that I
Just
don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
And he cuts him off, shuts him out, ends their time, despite the fact that from what I heard, they were supposed to have a 30-minute block, and he ended up cutting him off after 16 minutes because he got absolutely humiliated and obliterated. He just removed the vice president from air. Look at this. Listen one more time.
Audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No,
JD
I said that I
Just
don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
That's fucking insane. And they tried to scrub this footage from the internet, but obviously now we have Twitter, so that doesn't work. This is humiliating as fuck. Viewers are demanding an apology from George Stephanopoulos and ABC for cutting off Vice President JD Vance going to commercial after Vance exposed him for lying. This is humiliating. So first, I want to show you what Tom Homan had to say about it, as he denies the allegations that he took a $50,000 bribe. And then I'm going to show you what JD Just Dance Vance had to say.
I want to give you a chance to address.
Just look how insane this is. Attacks against ICE up 1,000%. And you're going to tell me that there's no terrorism problem in America. You're going to tell me that Antifa's not a terrorist organization when attacks against ICE are up 1,000%. That's insane.
This article that came out over the weekend, and it was on our always reliable MSNBC, and they said that you took $50,000 in cash in a bag from an undercover FBI agent to help them win government contracts in Trump's second term. The DOJ said they concluded there was no criminal wrongdoing.
All right, so the Department of Justice said he's innocent. But don't worry, because they're still pushing this slop instead of acknowledging that the government is shut down because the Democrats are retarded.
But nevertheless, that story is out there, and I imagine you want to respond to that.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And it's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. And I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said, said that nothing illegal happened and nothing, no criminal activity. You're talking about a guy who spent 34 years enforcing the law. I mean, I left a very successful business that I ran to come back and work for a government again. I'm back on a government paycheck. Not only did I sacrifice, my family sacrifices. I make sacrifices every day. I got more death threats than anybody. I got a security team around me, but guess what?
Insane.
My kids don't. My wife don't. I mean, I haven't lived with my wife in months because I don't want her to be here right now with all the threats. So after all the sacrifices, after serving my nation for all these years, they want to come out and dirty me up. And it's not going to end. There's a hit piece on me every 2 weeks. But
It's because they want you dead. Wake the fuck up, people. The leftoids want you dead. That's why they do this. That's why they do the allegation hit piece media spiral, because they want you to die. They want someone to kill you like they killed Charlie Kirk. All right, that's the overwhelming ideology. Remember, these are the people that have rejected "Thou shalt not murder," the 6th commandment. They have rejected that, and now we see what happens.
Coming, because you know what? Tom Homan isn't going anywhere. Tom Homan isn't shutting up, and Tom Homan's going to keep doing what he's doing, because working with President Trump's the greatest honor of my life. We're making this country safer again every day, and we're going to keep doing it.
Just based as fuck. Just generally just based as shit. And honestly, these are the people that they want to destroy. So here's some interesting information that I'm sure you're not aware of, even though you probably believed it to be true. This is the legacy media negative coverage chart. Letitia James, someone from my perspective, I think was completely convicted of mortgage fraud, 5% negative coverage. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a terrorist, an MS-13 terrorist who is a alleged human trafficker, wife beater, 5% negative coverage. That's 95% of the coverage about this guy was positive. RFK Jr., 96% negative coverage. JD Vance, 90% negative coverage. Elon Musk, 96. Kash Patel, 96. Kristi Noem, 89. Pete Hegseth, 100% negative coverage. Tulsi Gabbard, 100% negative coverage. Trump, 95%. Trump made a historic peace deal in the Middle East. In the middle, dude, are you fucking crazy? Like, this was the #1 thing any of you ever cared about. All right, and 95% negative coverage because no one cares. Because the media is essentially trying to be the propaganda wing of a terrorist movement, from my perspective, all right, allegedly, where they want you to die. They want to kill you, man. Just look at the way coverage has been done. So this is the story of Jay Jones. I'm pretty sure his name is, yeah. Democrat Attorney General Jay Jones. He had released documents, text messages of his were leaked, where he admitted that he wanted to shoot Republican officials and their children and urinate on their graves. This is a mainstream Democrat running for major elected state office, okay, in Virginia. Do you understand? Not a single Democrat condemned this guy's messages saying he wanted to murder Republicans and their children. Let's see how much coverage this got in the mainstream media.
Substantial race in an off-year election, 63 seconds coverage on NBC, nothing on the other two big networks, nothing on PBS. It's like this never happened.
The media doesn't even acknowledge it happened. That Jay Jones, the guy running for Democrat Attorney General in Virginia, literally said that he wants to murder Republicans and their children because they're little fascists. His quote is, "They're breeding little fascists." This isn't even the media. Yes, they want you dead. This is the propaganda wing of the fucking terrorist network that's had our country in a stranglehold for probably a decade or more. Probably since Obama, if you wanted my honest opinion.
Well, that is not surprising in any way because most of the corporate media view their job as existing to help out the Democrat Party with their campaigns. And
that includes, in my opinion, inciting their people to murder Republicans. That's part of it. That's why everyone was laughing when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I will never, ever fucking forget. Never, ever will I forget looking inside that media studio. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated and they're laughing their asses off. I'll never forget that moment. Burnt into my eyes. Burnt into my brain forever. Unbelievable. Charlie Kirk's assassination woke up so many people. It really did. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying for a very long time that this was going on, and I'm so happy that people are finally realizing these are immoral, godless heretics that, well, if they don't believe in the morality of the Ten Commandments, they are enemies of the fundamental values that founded Western civilization. I could have told you that they didn't believe in the Ten Commandments a while ago, because there are 1 million abortions a year in America. 99% of them are convenience, not rape or medical or anything, just convenience. They're murdering babies for convenience, 1 million babies a year. That's my perspective. So, no, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Even, not the God commandments, not even the commandments referring to believe in God and don't worship false gods. Just, basic don't steal when they don't arrest looters, all right? Don't commit infidelity, all right? When you literally have open marriages fucking everywhere. Are you fucking insane? It's everywhere.
it happens on literally every issue, whether it's an actual race and a candidate that they're trying to help out. We know that if this were a Republican candidate, it would be leading every single news show.
But it's usually not conservatives, because conservatives, at least normal, this isn't all conservatives, but, you know, a lot of conservatives statistically are more aligned with the founding biblical values of this nation.
And every Republican official in America would be forced to ask about it. We now have a situation in the Democrat Party where there's open support for left-wing violence, and nobody's really getting asked hard questions.
That's insane. Jay Jones, running for Democrat Attorney General, says he wants to murder Republican children because they're little fascists. And it's not even covered in the media. So yeah, I do believe it's the propaganda wing of Antifa that wants to kill us. I do, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. So this is Benny Johnson, all right? Benny Johnson is a YouTuber, all right? I'm not even, like, being... This is a YouTuber guy! He just made a video. A Democrat tried to kill me. Now he's in federal prison. Here's the real story. He's a YouTuber! And a Democrat a leftist tried to kill him. Now he's in prison.
The individual who wrote me described why he wanted me dead. I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter. They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field just like Charlie, how much blood would come out of my head and neck when it was blown off. This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife with great joy. You might want to say another left-wing radical, another extremist. And to that, I would like to direct your attention to the state of Virginia, where Democrats have nominated and are about to vote for the chief law enforcement officer in that state, a man who has done the exact same thing, an individual who's calling for the assassination by bullets of Republicans that he disagrees with, the killing of their children, The slaughtering of, as he says, little fascists. Are my four innocent, beautiful children little fascists? Violence has been mainstreamed by the Democrat Party. It is not extremist, it is mainstream.
He's right.
And we need a moment of reckoning here. This has to stop. This cycle must end. Is any Democrat courageous enough to disavow violence?
Spoiler, no. They love it. So anyway, this is the leftist threat in our country, and you're gonna tell me that this isn't real? So again, I'm glad that they got that guy in jail. That guy's now in federal prison, the guy that gave him that death threat, because that's, you know, freedom of speech doesn't include, I am coming to kill you. And realistically, I know what he's going through. As I'm an anonymous blue fucking retard on the internet. All right, I get hundreds of death threats a day. Hundreds. And it's not just anonymous accounts either. Right? It's like it's YouTubers that send me death threats that say they want me dead. Like, it's actually fucking insane. I, you know, don't want to bring attention necessarily to all of them. Every single one of them that's not exactly my strategy here. But it's absolute retardation that we need to live like this. And we don't need to live like this. All right, so this is the strategy. All right, all they need to do is the propaganda wing of the leftoids, the media, slanders you, tells you that, you know, we need to kill you. You're evil, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, you're Hitler, you're evil, you're pro-genocide, you support Nazism. Literally the laundry list of shit. You're corrupt, you're evil, you're racist, you're deporting people based on the color of their skin. The propaganda wing smears you, and then the militant wing, which is the retards in Antifa. Now, obviously, anybody that's gonna come and actually kill you, that's gonna be a wild guy. That's a fucking retarded guy. But there's enough retarded guys that manipulating this situation is so easy, and they have to know what they're doing. Come on, dude. Tom Homan, Benny Johnson, JD Vance, Trump, 2 assassination attempts on Trump. They killed Charlie Kirk. These are public figures. This isn't just, you know, random left-wing violence that you're going to say, oh, it's just random in the street. Like the guy that tried to shoot up ICE agents, which, again, 1,000% increase in attacks on ICE agents. Are you fucking kidding me? And you're going to tell me the media isn't the propaganda wing of Antifa? You're telling me that Antifa actually killing people or radical leftists committing violence isn't exactly what the fuck these communists want when they call for open rebellion? Oh, give me a break. So I wanted to see JD Vance's actual conversation here on ABC News. I heard it was good. Lock in. Apparently he destroys him so badly, he kicks him off the air. So this is going to be exciting. But know who you're up against. Know who you're up against. You are up against godless heathens that want to destroy a civilization founded on biblical values. That is, in my opinion, the spiritual warfare going on. And the physical warfare is, they're fucking communists. I believe that my personal belief system is everything in the physical plane has a spiritual component to it. That's my belief systems. And I pray to God that we come out of this as unscathed as possible. I believe that God has a pretty great plan for us moving forward, which is why Satan is fucking kicking his absolute, he's doing his absolute hardest. He's doing his absolute hardest to kill us. So lock in, everybody. On to the physical warfare.
We're joined now by Vice President JD Vance. Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us.
Such a big, cute smile every time. Dude, JD 48, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. All right, they hate him, which means I like him. It's a simple, the recipe is simple.
This morning, let's start with the Middle East. The Wall Street Journal is reporting...
let's start with the Middle East, where Trump made a historic peace deal.
Hamas has confirmed they are holding 20 living hostages.
Yeah, so this is from yesterday. As of today, the hostages, thank God, were released, reunited with their families. Trump got a super warm welcome in Israel, obviously. Honestly, fuck Hamas, and thank God that these people were reunited with their families. In case you wanted to not sleep tonight, despite the fact that they took hundreds of hostages, including about half of them being women, they didn't return a single living woman hostage. All the women died in the Hamas rape dungeons. These are our brave resistance fighters, according to the modern left.
Those hostages are going to be released in the next 24 hours, early as today, perhaps. Have 20 living hostages been confirmed? When do you expect to see them?
Well, they've been confirmed, George. Of course, you don't know until you see these people alive, but thank God we expect to see them alive here in the next 24 hours, probably early tomorrow morning, U.S. time, which will be later in the day, of course, in Israel. But look, George, we have to remember this is a remarkable achievement from an administration that really chose a non-conventional path to diplomacy. And I
completely true, by the way. Again, you have to recognize the reality. Every woke government that hates Trump, that's pro-Palestine, right? England, Canada, France, all of these fucking governments that, you know, they recognize Palestinian states and they reward terrorists as much as they can. And they say, the genocide must end in Gaza. Even though genocide is in big quotation marks because, I mean, if you actually read the news, you probably won't know this, but there's no genocide in Gaza. A lot of people died, and it's really a tragedy, don't get me wrong, because Hamas started a war and lost miserably. But yeah, no genocide. There is a genocide happening in Nigeria, by the way. I feel the need to remind you of this because this isn't in the media. They murdered 100,000, Muslims murdered 100,000 Christians in Nigeria, and their plan is to wipe out the entire Christian population. That's a genocide. No one seems to care.
That's the major takeaway. The President of the United States...
That's right. That's what it's all about. Trump is on the side of good here. He's on the side of justice. And he fought and he pressured the Arab countries to pressure Hamas and to release the hostages, and it fucking worked. None of this fucking hoopla, kumbaya, woke bullshit actually works. So you have to realize the pro-Israel president is the guy that saved the Palestinians. And no one on the left wants to admit it because they're all liars and frauds.
Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, he said, get a deal done. Talk to the Gulf Arab states, talk to Israel, find where there's common ground here, and actually let's go and find a way to get it done. And because of that, we are on the cusp of true peace in the Middle East, really
Crazy.
For the first time in my lifetime.
Abraham Accords. If Trump actually gets more countries into the Abraham Accords and makes like a lasting peace in the Middle East, it would probably make him, if he gets a lasting peace in the Middle East. Let's be real. Let's be honest here for a second. It's probably is it gonna happen? I don't know. Up in the air. But if it happens, it would make Trump the best president in the history of the country as far as foreign policy goes, ever. All right, no intervention, no ground wars. No regime change shit. This is unbelievable. It's unprecedented. And the fact that no one in the media is talking about it, giving him 95% negative coverage, means you're probably not even thinking about this or hearing it from anyone aside from YouTubers. I'm the media now, so I actually give you all the info. I feel like my show here on Nuxanor, I do my absolute best to cover all the bases instead of just specific hot button topics. And I'll be real. I've tried my best to be as rounded as I can. This is fucking historic.
Certainly, these 20 hostages are going to come home to their families, George.
Thank
I think
God.
this is a great moment for our country. Our country should be proud of our diplomats who made this happen. It's really a great moment for the world, too, which is why the president's going to go over there and celebrate with these hostages. But it's a great thing, and I'm very excited about it.
200 U.S. troops are being sent to Israel to monitor
He has nothing to say.
the agreement. What exactly will they be doing? Will they actually go into Gaza? And are you concerned they could get caught in some crossfire?
George, so that story is actually misreported. We already
JD Just Dance Vance, he ain't taking this shit.
have troops at Central Command. We've had them for decades in this country. They are going to monitor the terms of the ceasefire. And that's everything from ensuring that the Israeli troops are at the agreed upon line, ensuring that Hamas is not attacking innocent Israelis, doing everything that they can to ensure the peace that
For the record, Hamas is currently murdering innocent Palestinians. Over 100 Palestinians were murdered by Hamas in Gaza since the ceasefire happened. Pretty weird. Imagine surviving a genocide only to get killed by a Gazan, a fellow Gazan. That's pretty weird, right? It's almost like they're a terrorist organization and a death cult or something, despite the fact that the leftoids do their absolute best to run defense for terrorists. It's almost like the leftoids are terrorists. Wow! Wow! Aligning principles.
created actually sustains and endures. But the idea that we're going to have troops on the ground in Gaza, in Israel, that is not our intention. That is not our plan. There was a bit of a misreporting there, but we are going to monitor this.
No shit. It's the media. No shit. You need YouTubers to actually get this story done right. Do you understand how fucking retarded it is? Do you understand how insane the world is that we're living in right now? It's like, bro, the media, I don't trust them. Random fucking blue anime guy on the internet, that guy has the info. I've actually been taking this, my job a lot seriously ever since I've been doing, more politics content. I've been doing a fuck ton of reading. I try my best to report things honestly. I do make mistakes. I acknowledge that. I tried my best not to, which is more than I could say for the propaganda wing of the leftist terrorist organization.
Piece to ensure that it endures. The other piece of good news that's been underreported, I think, George, is that Indonesia and a number of other majority Muslim states, they've actually offered to send ground troops to Gaza.
The fact that this isn't reported is insane. Trump got Muslim majority countries to back Israel against terrorists. Fucking unprecedented, unheard of. Again, no fucking woke country would have ever managed to do that. Insane. Truly, truly unreal.
to ensure the necessary peacekeeping takes place. That's not something the United States is going to be expected to do. That's something the Muslim world is going to step up and do. And that, again, is because of the Trump administration.
It's only because of Trump.
The president has also pushed for National Guard deployments in several American cities.
Notice how he doesn't like comment on it. He just wants to move on. He's like, oh, fuck you. You killed me. Moving on.
As you know, that's been questioned by several federal judges.
Literally don't give a shit what activist judges have to question. In my opinion, the sending the National Guard to American cities that are full of crime is based as fuck. And according to the Insurrection Act, it's completely and utterly legal. It is 100% legal to do this. You know what? I'm going to show you something fucking mind-blowing. So this was a debate that happened on Piers Morgan the other day. This is a congressman of the United States, a leftist, that voted to shut down the government, by the way, that says that Trump is destroying the Constitution by using federal troops. And this is Michael Knowles. He's a Daily Wire conservative guy. I like him, actually. I don't know like a lot about him, but he seems pretty great. So anyway, this is the most telling video I've ever seen in my life. If you haven't seen this, you have to now.
Congressman, are you familiar with the Insurrection Act?
Right. This is what the Trump administration is doing. They invoke the Insurrection Act, and they're able to send their troops in to basically quash rebellion and actually enforce law in different cities, right? It's literally completely above board and legal. So he asks the congressman that says that Trump is violating the Constitution. This is the congressman. Are you familiar with the Insurrection Act? Watch this.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And this
so
is
what do you think that's for? You said that this was illegal. You said it was not unconstitutional and illegal for the federal government to send National Guard into cities and states. What do you think the Insurrection Act is for?
Well, look, this is a issue that the local government should be handling. It is this
no,
an issue.
But
what is the answer to that?
I don't think you understand the Insurrection
Act. Right, to Michael's... Well, let me just ask. I mean, Congressman...
Look at this smile. He's like... I am talking to a congressman who doesn't know what the Insurrection Act is and then making believe Trump is doing something illegal. Oh my God, it's cinema.
You actually know what the Insurrection Act says?
Yes, but this is...
What is it? What is it?
What does it say?
What does it say? Tell us.
Well, look, what we saw happen in January 6th in the Congress. That's insurrection.
That's nothing to do with the Insurrection Act.
The question is, are you familiar? I mean, obviously, the government is citing the Insurrection Act as the empowerment to do what it's doing.
This is a congressman of the Democrats. Oh my God.
Are you familiar with what the Insurrection Act does?
Look, this president has used all kinds of excuses to break the law.
Explain what it is, you motherfucker.
This president has
No, but that is the law. So what is the law? You say you're familiar with the Insurrection Act, but you don't seem to be able to describe what it does, and you're actually contradicting it. So what do you think the Insurrection Act does?
Look, the issue here is that we need our cities safe. Americans want...
Well, Congressman, that's not an answer to the question. I mean, if you
lay out what you believe allows Donald Trump to act...
Shut up. All right, stop running defense for a wokey that doesn't understand literally anything about the country that he's supposed to be running.
I'm going to come to you very shortly, but just to be clear, Congressman.
Look, Piers Morgan's like, what the fuck is happening? How is this a congressman of the United States?
It's a pretty simple question that Michael posed, which is the government are citing the Insurrection Act as the rationale and the legal tool by which they can do what they're doing. You said it's illegal and wrong and they shouldn't be doing it, but you seem to be struggling to explain what the Insurrection Act actually is. And Michael, quite rightly, is saying, well, can you just tell us?
Whatever it is, when the National Guards are picking up trash and the National Guards are watering the flowers, that is not Insurrection Act, and that's not what this is meant to be.
Do you know
what does the have to...
Do you know what it is, the Act?
Yeah.
What is it?
When there is an insurrection, the government has powers to use military, use reserve to address those situations. And this is clearly not the situation here. What we need to do is empower local law enforcement.
Okay, Michael, your response to that?
I think the congressman might be a little bit confused because he said that the federal government is breaking the law by sending the National Guard in to restore order to the cities where crime has spiraled out of control, where there's obviously a violation of federal law with all of the illegal aliens running about. And that is actually what it's for. We have a federal government in order to step in when the local and state governments fail. And so this has been used many times, not merely to restore order if there's some violent revolution, but even, for instance, to desegregate schools. This has been used many times over the course of American history. There's nothing illegal about it. And in fact, what President Trump is doing right now is one of the clearest and most just uses of the Insurrection Act when you have cities that are failing, that in your own words, cannot enforce the law, are under-resourced, and are falling into disorder. So I think you've made a good argument for what President Trump is doing.
Okay.
So anyway, I'd hate to be that guy. I'd probably kill myself. Probably kill myself. Not to be rude or anything, but this is humiliating. This is one of the most humiliating things I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyway.
Including Trump appointees, also the Republican governor of Oklahoma and chairman of the National Governors Association, Kevin Stitt. Here's what Governor Stitt said. We believe in the federalist system that states' rights. Oklahomans would lose their mind if Pritzker and Illinois sent troops down to Oklahoma during the Biden administration. How do you respond to Governor Stitt?
Well, I'd say to Governor Stitt, you have to look at what's happening on the ground in Chicago. And the reason why Illinois is a different case from Chicago is because Chicago has been given over to lawlessness and gangs for too long, George. If you look at the murder rates in Chicago, the violent crime rates, you have women who have young families. They're terrified their kids are going to get killed in a drive-by
Yeah, it's pretty bad, right?
We have accepted this for far too long in the United States of
Base,
America.
we don't have to live like
some
this.
of our biggest cities.
We don't have to
Chicago,
live like this.
Is the worst. It's a beautiful city. It's got great people. We know the gross majority of the violent crime in that city is committed by a very tiny fraction of the population. Why shouldn't federal troops empower the people in Chicago to live safe lives when the governor and the local mayor just simply refuse to do their job?
Wow, pretty good.
But as you know, a federal judge, a U.S. district judge,
a federal judge
has blocked the effort to deploy troops in Chicago, and it was.
That's literally not what judges are for. It's crazy that they're doing this, man.
Perry, and she actually said that a lot of these claims that were made, especially in the court filings, lack credibility.
Well, George, we're obviously going to litigate this as much as we can. We think that we have the authority to provide proper safety to our citizens all over the United States, but particularly in Chicago. But I think for any federal judge or anybody else to look at this situation and say, is it tolerable? And I think the obvious answer, George, is no. The president.
Dude, there's like 30 people murdered in Chicago like almost every week. That's fucking insane. We don't need to live like this.
Looks at this situation, he sees the fact that you have multiple people dying of murders every weekend in the city of Chicago, and he says, this is intolerable. And it's not just the people who live in Chicago, it's the law enforcement in Chicago, federal, state, and local, who are trying to keep us safe, George. You've seen ICE agents being teed off on in suburban Chicago, in places all over the state of Illinois, and other places too. You see 1,000% increase in violence against our ICE agents. They're being assaulted, they're being beaten, they're being shot at.
True.
I think all Americans,
That's terrorism.
Democrat,
We don't need to live
Republican, look at this scenario, we say, this is not acceptable. We want people to be safe. We want our law enforcement officials to be empowered to keep us safe. We can do this, and that's exactly what the Trump administration has committed to doing.
Governor Pritzker is our next guest. President Trump has said that he should be in jail. Do you think Governor Pritzker...
Well, I think Governor Pritzker has certainly failed to keep the people of Illinois...
He's also fat. That's my commentary.
...safe, and it's interesting to me, you know, Governor Pritzker will talk a lot, I'm sure, about how bad Donald Trump is, about how bad I am, and about how bad the administration is. He is the
But he's not going to acknowledge the fact that there are people dying in Chicago every week, because that's obviously, that looks pretty awful.
...of a state that where its biggest city has murder rates that rival the most violent places in the third world, George. Why is he so mad at Donald Trump for trying to keep Chicagoans safe? He should be mad at the criminals that he has failed to keep at bay. We're trying to help him, and we're trying to help the residents of his biggest city. I wish that he would let us, because he certainly isn't doing the job himself.
Based.
I asked if you agree with...
Dude, he responds so well.
President Trump that Governor Pritzker has committed a crime.
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago and elsewhere, George. I think that it's disgraceful, and I think that he absolutely should suffer some consequences for the fact that there are thousands of innocent Chicagoans who are dead because he failed to do his job.
It's really a yes or no question. Do you believe he's committed...
What a fucking retard. I'm telling you, man, the media is actually evil. Do you think technically, according to the letter of the law, a crime was committed? I mean, we don't really care that he let thousands of people die under his watch because he refuses to jail violent criminals. Oh, we don't actually care about that. We just want to get Trump. Trump said he committed a crime. Are you going to say that Trump is a liar? Like, dude, do you understand the fucking wickedness we're dealing with? Like, this dude is standing on the corpses of thousands of dead people in Chicago, shouting, did Trump lie?
A crime?
George, you're going to keep on asking this question. I'm going to keep on telling you that Governor Pritzker has failed to do his job. He should suffer some consequences. Whether he's violated a crime, ultimately, I would leave to the courts.
That's up to the court. Great response.
But I certainly think that he has violated his fundamental oath of office. That seems pretty criminal to me. I'd leave it to a judge and jury to
Great
decide
response.
whether
Dude, JD 48, it's happening.
he violated the crime.
Let me also ask you, as we saw the indictment this week of Letitia James on questions of mortgage fraud, also Lisa Cook has been accused by the Trump administration of committing mortgage fraud as well.
Remember, the reason why these are big stories is because Letitia James accused Trump of mortgage fraud before Trump became president, from what I remember. Now she's going away for mortgage fraud. Dude, every accusation's projection. Holy shit.
The journalism outlet ProPublica has actually published a story, and I want to show it up on the screen right now, that says that several members of the Trump administration have faced similar questions. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer entered into 2 primary residence mortgages in quick succession. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has primary residence mortgages in New Jersey and Washington, D.C. Lee Zeldin, the Environmental Protection Agency administrator, has 1 primary residence mortgage in Long Island and another in Washington, D.C. How do you respond to critics who say that the Trump administration is engaging in a double standard here?
Well, I'd say 2 things, George. First of all, ProPublica is basically a left-wing blog. I'm not shocked that you found a left-wing blog that can attack members of the Trump administration. But
he's on fire, dude. No wonder why they cut off this interview.
This is the most important is, what does the law say? Letitia James was indicted in a...
Yeah, here we go. Whip out the facts, brother. Cook his ass, JD.
Left-leaning part of our country, a part that voted very heavily against Donald J. Trump for the crime of mortgage fraud. When I read the...
Again, that's exactly why I find this absolutely hilarious. It's the fact that she, like, accused Trump of mortgage fraud, and that's what's doing her in right now. Like, it's absolute cinema.
Indictment, when I read the facts in the case, I see a person who committed mortgage fraud. Now, of course, the jury is going to decide whether she ultimately committed a crime. We don't try her. The administration doesn't try her. A judge tries the case, and a jury decides whether she's ultimately guilty. That is what is going to determine whether she goes to prison. I think we let the facts drive this, and George, that's what we've tried to do in the administration's Department of Justice. We've asked her, has a person violated the law? And if that person has violated the law, then we decide to prosecute him. That's what the Department of Justice should do. It didn't do that under Joe Biden's administration. It does under Donald Trump's.
On the facts, do you dispute the facts that ProPublica reported?
Oh my God, this guy's such a fucking butt. It's unbelievable that Vance is doing these interviews with obviously hostile enemies that are trying to, honestly, in my opinion, get people to kill him.
Do I dispute a far-left blog that I haven't read that you brought up in this interview? I have no idea, George. I have no idea what they actually said. But I certainly question the source. I question their credibility. And most importantly, I'm not worried about what they said about members of our administration. I ask the question, what does the law say? And if the law says that you engage in mortgage fraud and a local...
He's a more patient man than I would have fucking killed him. That was a joke. Obviously, I would not. I would never engage in violence because I actually have a code. Thou shalt not kill is part of the code. But I'll be real, I would have fucking flipped out. This guy is insufferable.
Local prosecutor, a local grand jury, and finally a jury convicts you of that crime, then that is how the justice system is meant to work in the United States of America.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in December 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Like, this is literally just unbelievable rapid-fire, bad faith question after question. Like, it's insane that Vance even accepted to do this. Like, it's wild, and honestly, nothing but respect for him.
It back.
Remember, Kamala Harris did an ABC interview, and they edited it before releasing it. They removed the parts where she yammered, and the guy asking the questions was asking softball questions. Understand the propaganda wing of the enemy.
You've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear. And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the job of enforcing the law.
Which, by the way, is exactly what Trump was elected for. Remember, every single person that's screaming that Trump is a fascist, every single person that's anti-ICE and deportations, they are anti-democracy fundamentally. Remember, Donald Trump's #1 promise running for office was mass deportations, the largest deportation campaign the American people has ever seen. That's literally what he ran on, and he was mandated to do it by the majority of the American people. He won in a landslide. The American people voted for this, and they are fighting against the mandate of the American people. Never forget that this is the anti-democracy party. This is the communist party that wants to, by force, rebel against a actual democracy. Never forget and never accept their framings. Their words and their terms are lies. They use language as a weapon. Don't fucking fall for it.
I think it's really preposterous. I know Tom. I think that he's a good man. He gets death threats. He gets attacked. He gets constantly threatened by people because he has the audacity to want to enforce the country's immigration laws. I think that it would be a much more interesting story about why is it that Tom Homan, who is simply enforcing Americans' immigration laws, is getting constantly harassed and threatened to the point of death threats.
Good question.
That's a much more interesting question that I think journalists should focus on. We can agree to disagree on that question.
Well, wait, you said he didn't take a bribe, but I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum. He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services. The question is, did he do something illegal? And there's absolutely no evidence that Tom Homan has ever taken a bribe.
I'm asking a different question.
Why are you interrupting the vice president?
Working in the administration.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
He was on an audio tape in September 2024, and FBI...
on the nebulous audio tape, did he get money? Did he accept the money? Now, I know you're saying it's not a bribe, but the money that you don't know exactly what I'm referring to at the point.
Tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody.
And if he is, he should go to jail. For the record, if he actually is a criminal that's doing these crimes, they should prosecute him. I'm just so not a fan of slander. Thou shalt not spread slander among your people. Oh, hey! Shout out to the 10 Commandments. We got number 9 in the house. Thou shalt not be a false witness on your fellow man. Oh my God. It's crazy. It's crazy how this keeps happening. Again, if this is true, he should go to jail. If it's tried in court and he's found guilty, they should arrest him. But spreading endless slander, just asking questions, is evil.
Accuse Tom of violating a crime, even the far left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that he didn't violate a crime.
So you don't, what was caught on the tape, you're saying right now you don't know whether or not he kept that money?
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why...
It's such dishonest framing every single time.
Fewer and fewer people watch your program.
I fucking punch him in the nuts. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. But again, it's evil. It's literally evil. And you know what? This is going to make someone want to kill him. Dude, he already gets death threats. This is just adding more fuel to the fire. They know exactly what they're doing. They should never, ever, ever stop being held accountable for this. They know exactly what they're doing.
And why you're losing credibility, because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government.
Yeah, not a single question about any of that, obviously. It's only about completely random side tangents on individual petty character drama. Tom Homan and Letitia James and Governor Pritzker instead of, America. Are you noticing?
You're focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted...
Please. I'm just asking questions, guys. I'm just asking questions. Isn't that how the left made fun of the right forever?
$50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
And that's how the actual video ends, as NBC published it. Now, if you notice, why didn't ABC not show the entire clip of George cutting to commercial break? Why did no one actually show the reality of what actually happened in that discussion? I think I lost it. I lost the clip. But I showed it to you right in the beginning. Thank you for being here. God bless you. God bless America. And let's actually try not to get killed by left-wing terrorists by enforcing the law and stuff. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Praise God. The Bible believes in law and order. And I'll be real. Here we are, 3,000 years after God gave us the Bible, after Scripture was given to man, and it's still the most moral system of all time. Thank God. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.